The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTRTV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide, no one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive it in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's gonna be a photo finish to the line. Who's gonna get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the trial.
Photo finish.
2x2. The 65 gets the win.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Hello and welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV. Here tonight with a brand new league that we just picked up on Monday nights, the Integrity Racing League. They're dual on Twitch 250. Here tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway. Joining me tonight, as always, is Corey Silva, myself, Brandon Krutz, and Evan Black here. And, well, guys, Texas Motor Speedway, it should be a good show here tonight at Fort Worth.
Yeah, Texas is a really fun track, especially in these Cup cars. You can really get the iRacing dynamic track to work and really move up the lanes.
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Maybe a new crowd to our channel brought on by the Integrity Racing League, or the guys that are just coming from our podcast, The Racers' Minds. We just finished up with that as well. So here tonight with the Integrity Racing League, again, a brand new league that we just picked up on Monday nights here, so should be a really good show. Looks like quite a few drivers here tonight. I hear this is a pretty big league. It looks like pretty much full field status in here right now, so looking for everybody to, looks like actually some pretty fast laps here so far in qualifying, Evan.
Yeah, about 36 drivers will be taking the grid tonight. Looks like Justin Rowden currently on the provisional pole. Still about 25 seconds left in qualifying.
So these guys here racing again, the Doolok on Twitch 250 here tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway. These guys just finishing up qualifying now, so we're going to bring you the PTRTV starting lineup here presented by iRacing. And starting on pole here for tonight is going to be the number 07, Justin Rowden, with a time of 29.654. Starting in second, his outside is going to be Joseph Theus. That is going to be Adam de Blasio. Brad Brad Patton starting at his outside in 4th. 5th is going to be Justin Fife. That is going to be Caleb Eisenhower, William Dunn, Don Stevenson, Michael Doolok, and rounding out the top 10 is Brandon Kirkman.
And Camilo Thompson will be rolling off in 11th. Jason Miller to his outside. Cody Smith will be starting 13th. James Hudson 14th. Bruce Ackerman in 15th. And then rounding out the rest of the top 20, Trevor Opolo, Erica De Blasio, Lance Gentles, Todd Thomas, and Alan Roll running out the top 20.
Starting in the 21st position is going to be Tom Wetmore. And it's going to be Nick Turbush. Apologize in advance, folks. We are still trying to learn a couple of these names. Brand new league here on PTRTV. Starting in the 23rd position is Neil Frolic. Then it's going to be Samuel Nito, Christopher Sheltzler. I apologize. Joseph Yakes, Joshua Campbell. In 28th is going to be Jay Heischman. Guillermo. Alvarez. And rounding out the top 30 is Alan Pajari.
Then rounding the rest of the field, Brandon the 6th and 31st, Nick Ward in 32nd, Kent Weatherall in 33rd, Patrick Davis in 34th, Jimbo Hickson 35th. Then rounding out the field in 36th is Randy Fayosh.
Again, folks, we do apologize if some of your last names were, or first names for that matter, were not correct. I myself am very bad with names, and we are still trying to learn all these new names as a channel, but looks like it's going to be 36 cars here on grid tonight, folks. It'll be a good show as these guys roll out. They'll get stacked up, doubled up, ready to go. So these guys will get one pace lap around here. Justin Rowden starting on pole in that 07. Sharp-looking car up front there. Alongside him is going to be the number 25 machine. That's going to be Joseph Theus. Or Thice. Let us know in chat if anybody knows some of these last names that we may be pronouncing wrong. Again, brand new league. We do like to get some of these. Well, we like to get all of these right. We do try to get them right on the first attempts. But pace car will be making its way down. Pace car will be making its way down into pit lane. This time by the field being led by the 07, Justin Rowden. Off it goes now, awaiting the drop of the green flag. 07 is the control car. Green flag is in the air for the first time tonight. The dual okay on Twitch 250 from Texas Motor Speedway.
Looks like Justin Rowden will just barely clear that number 25 for the lead. We got a battle for second going on. The 48 of Adam de Blasio trying to get that second position.
2 by 2 by 2. Here comes the number 48 machine up in second place. That puts the 25 back to third. Side by side for the fourth position.
Looks like a couple cars real low on the back stretch. Everyone keeps it straight. The 36, Jacob Fife looking underneath that number 1 machine for the fourth position.
Watch these guys fan out coming through the quad oval here. A couple of guys getting a little bit out of shape here. The 36 got a little bit of a bump from the 51 machine. Now making his way through the field is that 51 machine. A couple of guys behind them try to get sorted out.
51 takes over the 5th position from the 36 of Jake Fife, and right behind them, Michael Doolok and the 43 of William Dunn side by side going into turn number 3.
Almost 3 wide from a couple of guys back there heading down into turn number 3. Looks like things are starting to get singled out through the field. We see the number 43 and the 5 in a little bit of a battle. That'll settle out now. Now heading down into turn number 1. It looks like it's going to be the 88 trying to gain position on the 36.
It's like Michael Doolok will clear for that 6th position. 36 of Jacob Fife going back to the 7th position now.
Couple of guys, these guys starting to get kind of singled out here the first part of this run now. Now, it looks like the battle's starting to settle out. Evan, what do we expect for runs here before these guys have to head to pit road?
Well, it looks like these guys do run full fuel, so I would say probably about 50 to 55 laps is going to be the fuel window, but you want tires after about 3 laps. The tire wear at this place is crazy.
All right, and just so you know, I'm back. Corey Silva back. Apologies for the opening of the stream. We are doing kind of double duty tonight with our podcast, so quick turnover times, a little bit of audio issues, but we are back at it. Lap number 5 on the board. Your leader, Justin Roden, out by a 0.3 of a second gap. Battle for second seems to be heating up.
That 25 of Joseph Theus trying to get by that number 48 machine down the back straightaway now, losing a little bit of ground down into turn number 3. 48 still pulling away just a little bit.
Yeah, the 25 machine may have company behind him as well, as he's got that number right on his back bumper. That's Brad Payton. Or Patton, I apologize.
Yeah, single file around the bottom of the racetrack as we wait for the upper groove to come in right now. It will take a lot more laps to do so, but with this large field of over 35 cars, that should happen in a matter of no time. But look at the one, Brad Patton in the one, all the way up to the second groove there, trying to see if there's anything working yet.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit early for them to run the wall, but they can definitely start running the second groove. The top line in 3 and 4 comes in a lot quicker than in 1 and 2, but I think after about 30 laps, these guys will be running the wall in 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. The awesome physics that iRacing implements into these racetracks now with the dynamic surface model here should lead to some really good racing, some really fun racing the more this run goes on.
As we sift through the back of the latter end of the field here, trying to find some battles on the track. We're going to go back to about the 19th position, and we see a gaggle of cars. Samuel Nadeau, Tom Wetmore, Todd Thomas, they are all bumper to bumper here, coming off a very tight turn number 2.
Looks like Samuel Nadeau right all over the back bumper, that 53 of James Hudson down into turn number 3. Nadeau taking a look down into the corner. Looks like he will clear, but that 53 is going to try and fight back on the exit of 4.
45 of Nadeau to the inside, 53 of Hudson to the outside, and then behind him, big wiggle.
Oh boy, almost contact with a 42 machine right there. Beautiful save.
Very early in the race, but a good save nonetheless. These guys going at it, so now we go a little bit further back. Nadeau is on the inside. Todd Thomas in the 78 to the outside. This is still for the 19th position. Trevor Ropolo right behind this.
Nadeau trying to get some ground back to what he lost here. Going back up a little bit further, guys. The number 53 trying to pull some moves on the outside.
That's James Hudson in the number 53 machine, 16th position at the moment, lurking on Bruce Ackerman's back bumper. That is for 15th. Not missing anything up front. The lead still has stabilized at a quarter second.
So, looks like, look at that 53 machine, guys. He a little bit too high up the racetrack this early, I think, but look at the run he gets on exit.
So maybe not too early at all. I mean, someone's got to be the guy to run that top and see if it works for everybody else. Looks like the 53 is one of the drivers to do that. You can see a couple drivers here. Actually, look at turn 1 and 2. Everybody working their way up to the middle of the racetrack.
I think it's a little bit too early to be running that high in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 after about 10 laps into a run, that almost becomes a preferred lane if you can run it correctly.
92
the
of
92.
Ackerman. Evan Block knows all about the number 92 machine, don't you?
That kind of looks like my font too.
Well, the number anyways, I should say. But we'll go back a little ways further. The 45 seems to be in the wrong direction right now. He is to the outside and is allowing the number 78. Again, Todd Thomas to the inside, and that is allowed a bunch of drivers. Ropolo, Neil Frolich, Lance Gentles in the number 16 machine. They are all closing in on this battle.
Yeah, looks like Nadeau is maybe holding these guys up a little bit. I wonder if he burned his tires up in those first 3 or 4 laps.
But battle up front, guys. We got to watch out. Look at the leader, Justin Roden, running the Larson line in 1 and 2. But there is a battle going on for third right now. That's Brad Patton.
Oh, 25. Really loose out of 2.
Beautiful save, however.
Joseph Thiessen, the 25, trying to make it happen. And look at Patton
look
running.
At the 1.
You cannot do that this early in the race, but
Yes, you can, because he's doing it.
Yeah, all the way up against that outside wall. Look at the run he's got into turn number 1 down below the 40-gate machine.
Now he's taking it in the middle. Can't quite run the white line anymore, but he's going to the middle. We see them bumping over the...
one really loose out of 2.
Going over the bumps there at 1 and 2. We know how difficult that is here at this older version of Texas, especially running those upper grooves.
And our leader is
3 and 4.
Our leader is running that same line right up against the wall through both corners of this track.
Yeah, those lines starting to come into effect here, running the very outside of the track, at least through 3 and 4, now starting to do it through turns 1 and 2, and those guys almost diamonding the corner a little bit, at least throwing it down to the center of the racetrack, trying to get a straighter run on exit, trying to maximize their speed down the straightaway.
Yeah, to run the wall in 1 and 2, you have to do exactly what this 07 is doing. You have to run up against the wall through till about the center of the corner. Then there's a lot of bumps up there, so you have to bring it down to the middle if you want to keep that run out of 2.
Here we go, position exchanging now. Michael Duell in the 88 machine to the inside groove, trying to see if he can pass the number 51, Caleb Eisenhower. That is a battle for the 5th position down the back straightaway. The momentum from the outside will carry the 51 on.
Then Eisenhower goes down to the bottom in 3 and 4, when most everyone else has already moved up to the 3rd lane.
Yeah, so look at the amount of different lines we have so far, guys. The leader's running right up against the wall. A couple of guys running down through center. A few guys still running against the white line. Absolutely amazing as we see the 25 machine running that white line, trying to get around the 1 machine.
Yeah, that battle going on right now. You can see, again, everybody running the fence here. Still 150 laps to go. The 1 machine running the fence, the 25 running the bottom. The 25 just cannot carry the speed down there, and that will settle that battle out for the time being. We have a wreck on the front straightaway. The number 90 machine, Ropolo, into the wall.
Caution flag is on the speedway.
Trevor Ropolo, serious damage.
Hard hit. Oh man, oh man. 2-car wreck down the front straightaway. Looks like he got loose down underneath the 16 had a run up on the high side. Ropolo in that number 90 machine got loose and contact made, and
he wasn't
heavy contact the outside wall.
He was not either prepared or just not looking there to see that contact on the outside, or that run rather on the outside. So he kind of shut the door, and when he shut the door, the momentum was there, the car was there, and there we go.
Somebody made heavy contact. It was the 32 machine. Could have been a lot worse, I think, but that 32 machine made some pretty good contact with the 90 as he was coming down the racetrack. Good save. So that puts the field under the first caution of the night here on lap 19. These guys all lined up to come down pit lane.
Yeah, you want tires after 3 laps, so everyone's going to come down pit road here.
4 tires and fuel by all these drivers is what we do expect to see, so we will assume that everybody will do exactly that. Do see one driver that has remained on the speedway. That is Guillermo Alvarez in the 83. We'll see if that is just for a bonus point, or maybe he... I mean, we did cover a race here last week, guys, remember, where we saw drivers stay out there on older tires, but that was at the end, and we know how that one went.
I don't know how that one went.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Actually,
probably just...
Yeah, Brandon, you were in that race with me, was that? ASRS on
Yeah.
I was in the race. I was racing.
Oh, you were in the race, literally.
But I don't know how that turned out because I got wrecked at her.
Yeah, it didn't go very well. We can say it pretty generic. It worked out for the drivers who did it, but for the drivers trying to evade it in the pack, it didn't go so well. So we will see.
I'd imagine it's just a ploy to maybe get a bonus point here. See this time.
He was on the apron. Looks like he's going to stay out. Nope.
Oh, here he goes. So, Again, that turns our lead back over to the 07. Justin Rowden.
And very quickly, since we didn't have time to do it in the pre-race, we can just give you a brief rundown of the top 10 in points, let you know where those drivers are running in relation. Right now, Adam de Blasio is your points leader as of race number 6 in the season that has been completed. We're on number 7 now. He's up by 21 points over Joe Slama. Joshua Campbell 3rd, Brad Patton 4th, Joseph Thies in 5th, and then Jacob Fife in 6th. Jason Miller also tied for 6th, and then Brandon Kirkman 8th, David Rattle in 9th, and Michael Duell rounds out your top 10 in points. Top 10 separated by about 64 points.
So, very close points battle so far as the field is stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing here from the Texas Motor Speedway. The Doolok on Twitch 250. Here, pace car makes its way back into pit lane. They're on the throttle once again. Green flag is back in the air.
07 got a really good jump right now. The battle is for second. Brad Patton up there on the outside. Joseph Thies down on the inside, down into turn number 1. Side by side for 2 rows there.
Oh, nearly some contact with the back of the 1 right there.
Oh boy, tight racing back here for around 3rd position, guys.
That was Caleb Eisenhower all the way to the back bumper of the 1 coming through turns 1 and 2. He does lose the position, lose the ground, but very tight call there as we're about to have a 3 wide off turn number 4.
Yeah, those guys, it's a gaggle of cars back here for rounds the 6th position. The 5 machine taking the ground away from the 88 machine now.
Are you guys seeing the front bumper of the 88 the same way that I'm seeing it right now?
That's what I'm going to look at right now to see how that happened.
Maybe
I don't know if it's
a glitch on the iRacing server, or if he had significant contact, but our pit reporter Evan Black.
So it looks like under caution, he just came up and went into the back end of Caleb Eisenhower, going about 40 miles an hour faster. Just rammed right into the back of him.
Yeah, Caleb Eisenhower has pretty significant damage to the rear end of his race machine as well. Wow.
So,
I don't know if that was intentional or if it was an accident or what, but the 88 definitely got the worst end of that.
Yeah, I'd say he's missing a whole front nose piece on his race machine.
But he's not running that bad, which, given that damage, is kind of surprising, to be honest. He has dropped back to the 15th spot, but he's still running within a couple tenths of at least the guys in the middle of the pack.
But he is making his way back. There. Back to 17th now, about to fall back to 18th.
Yeah, he is for sure dropping like a rock. The 51 machine now into the outside wall. 36 going below him. That's up towards the front.
Move Jacob Fife into the 4th position as the 51 running the top there. The top's not necessarily where you want to run on a restart. There's more grip on the bottom on the fresher tires. So here comes the 5, Brandon Kirkman. He will try to fill in the gap and keep the conga train going there, moving the 51 to the back.
Now see, the 51, you can run this line 3 and 4 this early. It's still not going to work out enough for him to hang on to that position though. Looks like 88 is coming down pit road.
Yep. Looks like the 51 machine trying to gain a little bit of ground back. Really loosey-goosey, slippy-slidey down the back straightaway there. Oh, clips the apron now. Now trying to save his race car in front of 3 other cars.
Oh, but here we go, coming off of turn number 2 at the moment. We did miss that battle, but off turn number 2, there's about 5 guys running side by side here for about the 8th position on back.
Yeah, almost a little bit of 3 wide there with the 48, 43, and 51. 51 of Caleb Eisenhower way up top. Through 3 and 4, 43 William Dunn all the way down on the bottom.
Couple of guys got to watch that apron there on the bottom of the racetrack, clipping it on exit, almost caused a pretty big pile up there. Now everybody gets through. Now the 20 the 73 and the 51 side by side.
That 51 is really falling back through the field. I wonder if that damage on the rear end is hurting him.
Yeah, it looks like he's got quite a bit of damage, especially to the rear spoiler without correcting, almost as a parachute for him right now, not doing him any good. So probably not helping his case at all right now.
Because it is a pretty heavy impact to the rear end of that car, and he hasn't had an opportunity to come down pit road to fix any of the damage yet.
Up front, guys haven't missed too much, other than the fact that they are back to running the fence right now. 0-1 right off the fence, coming off of turn number 4, getting into a more normal corner exit line. Brad Patton right behind him, Joseph facing the 25, and then we're going to go back about 2 seconds off the lead to find the 36, Jacob Fife.
That one of Joseph Theus is trying, okay, the one of Brad Patton, sorry for getting the names mixed up. He made a look on our leader going down into turn 1, down on the bottom, lost a lot of track position though. We'll see if he can get that back and make another look.
Yeah, the bottom of the track, similar to almost how dirt tracks work on in the real world and on iRacing service. It is very difficult, as I am still trying to get these paint schemes working, guys. I do not know why I'm having the issues I am having, but once that rubber's in on the bottom, you really just can't go anywhere with it, and it almost just becomes kind of a dead line. And as I say that, watch the leader.
Yeah, you say that and the leader goes down to the bottom really loose out of turn number 4, so that's going to allow the one of Brad Patton to catch up down the front straightaway, now down into turn number 1. Looks like that 0-1 is running a lot higher through 1 and 2 than Brad is.
Yeah, the 0-7, the leader, is definitely running the higher line, getting the run on exit. It does seem, but now as we look, the one machine now kind of running in the tire tracks of the 0-7, but the 25 trying to gain ground.
Yeah, the 25, about 5 laps ago, he was in second, but got passed by that number 1 machine, who's now, as soon as I was talking about him running lower, he goes up to the very top in 1 and 2. But there's a lot of bumps out there if you stay out there for that long, and the 25 was able to catch up.
Yeah, we'll pull up the graphic here, and it might be a little skewed because of the 25 running the bottom here, but we'll see as they cross the stripe who is indeed the fastest of these top 10 drivers. And as the times pop up, and fastest time actually was the 25, and he is the Lone Ranger running that inside groove. Looks like
the number 1 machine really loose out of turn 2.
Jacob Fife in the 36 also nearly as fast, and almost a tenth faster than the second place Brad Patton, but also faster than your leader. So we'll see if the 25 can do anything, but it's going to be a lot harder for him to do that because he's not going to get the runoff corner exit passing on the inside.
Now Patton throws it down into turn number 1, running that white line. Lost a lot of time to our leader in that 0-7.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, trying to go down to that bottom line again, I just don't see it working when you're, I mean, it's not late in the run, but it's, you know, it's late enough. That bottom line just not going to work.
Yeah, the bottom line, it's rubbered in now. It's really warm down there, and the tires are worn, so it's just not going to work.
Looks like we'll go back to about the 8th position, and I see that Jason Miller, he is in a battle with the number 5 Brandon Kirkman. That's for the 7th position. Right ahead of that is William Dunn in the 43. Going off turn number 4, all of them running the inside groove and in tight quarters. We'll see what happens as they enter turn number 1.
I wonder if that top line is starting to get rubbered in and warmed up, and now people are starting to come back down to the middle and bottom line as the 73 of Miller is taking a look underneath that 5 machine out of turn number 2.
He pulls it down there, gets side by side down the back straightaway. We'll see if he is able. He does hold some ground down the straightaway, so he'll take the dive on the white line in turn 3 and 4. But you can see the 5 just keeping that momentum built up and allows him to at least maintain the position.
And the 5 got pretty loose out of turn number 4, it looks like, so he's going to drop back behind the 73 down into turn 1. 73 will clear for the 7th position.
Yep, so good battle, kind of latter half of the top 10 now. Now the 5 machine got a good run down off of turn number 2, now heading down into turn number 3, right in the tire tracks of that 73 machine.
5 got a little bit tight, pushed up through the center of 3 and 4. He lost some time there.
Looks like most everybody kind of singled out here, guys.
Caleb Eisenhower, guys, someone that we talked about up front earlier. He's back to 15th now, and I can see that he is struggling with that machine. He's now under fire from Brandon 6 in the 33.
Really sideways out at 2. I'm guessing that rear end damage is just really hurting him that much. Because he was a top 5 car.
Yeah, I noticed that car is extremely loose on him now, and it's, you know, whatever issue is wrong in that rear end aerodynamics-wise, it's just not helping him at all as he gets into the wall a little bit there down through the quad oval.
Yeah, they're still side by side. Now the 18, Cody Smith to the inside, but you can see the massive run. The 51 got off corner exit. He's going to take him to the inside of Brandon 6, trying to go 2 for 1 here with the dive to the inside.
And Eisenhower throwing it into 3 and 4. He will clear and slide up in front of that number 33, but he gets loose. Almost
contact almost contact if there wasn't any between him and the 33 machine. Close call for him. Sketchy ride right there for Eisenhower.
Todd Thomas in the 78 tried to get to the inside of Eisenhower as well, but was not able to do so. But you can really see the guys running the top of the racetrack are able to maintain those runs, as we do have a battle for 4th right now.
Yeah, de Blasio in that 48 taking around the outside of that 36 down the front straightaway will clear for the position and is pulling away.
So the 48 machine up to that 4th position.
Battle for the lead.
Here we go. The 1 machine trying to get underneath the 07, now diving it down deep into turn number 3, now out of turn number 4. Going to be side by side for the lead.
07 should get the run out of 4. Yes, he will. He will clear once again for the lead, but will the 1 throw it into turn number 1?
Here he goes all the way to the white line here at Texas Motor Speedway. You can see how dark and how much rubber is on the bottom groove. The 25 also running the bottom, but off of turn number 2, the momentum from Roden in the 07 will still hold him and allow him to prevail.
Patton is doing an awesome job there trying to ride the bottom. Here comes the 25 machine down to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get something done here. He's got to run. 3 cars battling for the lead here at Texas Motor Speedway, only at lap 45, not even halfway through.
Patton throwing it down into turn number 1. Has a slight advantage out of 2, but the 07 is going to get the run down the back straightaway.
I think the 07 had to lift a little bit mid-corner to avoid getting into the outside wall there. So far, awesome job by all these drivers. 3 cars under a blanket now.
Almost had him there off turn number 4, but was not able to clear. Loses the momentum, falls back in line. And these in the 25 still at a kind of a point of where does he go. But one of these times, does Roden, is he going to smack the wall? You can't do that many times without eventually messing up.
Yes, you can, but you have to be really good.
Okay, so drivers of my skill level cannot do that every single lap, but obviously the 07 appears to be of much higher caliber, because it's really impressive that he is running that line lap after lap within maybe about a foot of variance, and here he goes again.
But now with Patton and Cius running down on the bottom, I wonder if they're putting more wear on their tires.
Oh, big wiggle from the 07.
Oh, boy. Now right on the back bumper is Patton going down into turn number 1, dives it down deep into turn number 3 once again. Through turn number 4, not quite going to be able to clear. Side by side once again are those two drivers.
07 wiggling down the quad oval.
It's
now down
tough.
into turn 1. The one's going to try and throw it in there, but he's not going to be able to clear. Yes, he will.
But watch out for the runoff corner exit.
It's going to slide up in front of him. I think the 07 stayed up against the wall too long through 1 and 2 and hit those bumps and lost all his momentum.
Heading down through turns 3 and 4 now. Now the one machine running that higher line. 07 trying to stay in his tire tracks. New leader, the one machine, Brad Patton.
25 of these trying to also pass the number 07 rather, and gain the second position. See if he can make a battle for the lead. But we know how long it took Patton. Let's see how long it takes the 25.
I think the 07 has really burned his tires up. Because with these guys being able to throw it in there like they can and keep all their speed, the 07 just has really burned his tires up.
The guys, remember, we're we're almost 30 laps into this run now since the first caution of the race, and we know the tires have dropped off over 2.5 seconds nearly. When do green flag stops start?
Soon.
Well, yeah, I'd expect soon. You know these guys are not going to go all the way on the fuel run. They're going to want a short pit, so...
Within the next 20 laps.
That's very...
Because that's when they'd be out of fuel.
That's for... Oh. I knew there was going to be a wise remark, because I was going to say, we've seen races where 30 laps was kind of the cutoff where you wanted to come to pit road, so that has already been approached, so...
Oh, these guys want to come to pit road, but they can't yet.
Because if this race goes green, let's say to the remainder 110 laps, this could be the difference of an extra pit stop if you short pit too much.
25 of Joseph Theus has caught back
in
up
the wall
to our
on the back
leader.
straightaway. There's that red car right there, I believe, on the apron right now.
Is it Bruce Ackerman in the 92, maybe?
Yes, it was. Since we're going to go on board here with the 92.
Looks like he just got slightly loose out of 2, overcorrected a little bit, and gone to the wall.
Yeah, he luckily was able. What was that? The number 55, I believe, was able to get by 53 rather. He gets to the inside of the track, comes directly to pit road. But
side by side for the lead. The 25 of Joseph Theus was side by side with the 1. But now the 1 has cleared once again.
Yeah, that 25 machine is pretty fast, guys. Trying to take away from the lead from the number 1 of Brad Patton now.
25, now that he's by the 07, now he's able to see what he can do. He kind of laid back earlier in the run, wasn't quite going for the lead, and that seems to be going to his benefit now. Takes a dive to the inside, but this is going to be the challenge, passing on that inside groove.
They got a couple lappers coming up, though, so they might be able to use them as a pick and get by.
It's going to be the 16 and the 70, I do believe. It all depends where these lap cars go, too, guys. Lap traffic, something we may see not too much of today, but it will come into effect as we're seeing now. See if they go high or low.
As of this point, Kent Wetherill in the number 70, he is the last driver on the lead lap in the 28th position, but you can see that lead lap is not very safe right now because the leaders are right there.
Justin Roden now falling back to 4th as the 48 of Adam de Blasio gets by.
That 25 machine still trying to work the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get around for the lead. The 70, gonna have to see where he's gonna go here.
This is gonna go high, let the leaders go by down on the inside.
That forces the 1 machine and the 25 to run right up against the white line to the corner here. Now coming up on the 16 machine.
Now where's the 16 gonna go? Is he gonna go down to the bottom or the top? Looks like he will choose the top.
That did not pan out well for the 25 machine that last time by. Got stuck behind a 16 on corner exit. He lost a little bit of ground there. Now going to have to make it up as he dives it deep down into turn number 1.
The 25 got a pretty good run out of 2. Did not lose too much time to that number 1 machine. Now down into 3 and 4. Pretty even for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. The 25. Look at how much ground he made up, guys. Now, almost right to the back bumper of the 1 machine of Brad Patton is that 25 machine, Joseph Diaz now.
So now Patton goes high, but he might be a little bit too high out of turn number 2. He's still going to get the run.
As they pass the lap car on the inside, who is running the white line right now, not allowing them to obviously run there, but the 25 trying to use that to his advantage maybe. Not quite, coming off turn number 4. Big wiggle.
Oh boy, the 1 machine almost makes contact with a 94.
Yeah, the 94 is on new tires.
That's Alan Rowell in the 94, who is already made his pit stop, as a couple drivers have done so. Don Stevenson in the 67 has also come to pit road. We'll see if anybody is there now. There are some drivers that were in the mid-teens on pit road. Brandon Six, Camilio Thompson. So this is the time, as we're about 40 laps into this race, into this run.
They can probably go about 50 to 55 laps on fuel, I think.
Yeah, right now everyone up front is on 40 laps into their run, so times have dropped off almost 2 3/4 seconds right now.
I don't know if maybe you want to go till about 100 laps to go and then pit 2 more times after that, or pit 1 more time after that.
That's right.
Split it up into a few 50-lap runs.
Right now, 107 laps to go, so it'd be a 40-lapper, a 40-lapper, and a 27-lapper, so that doesn't really make much sense. So, I mean, you don't want to do 3 stops. You don't want to do 2 stops with too long of runs if you can avoid it. So it's really finding the balance.
I think pit here in about 7 laps and then do 2 50-lap runs to the end.
And that's, of course, saying that the pace car is parked in pit road for the race. We do not know. We've seen that dynamic change things many a time. Does look like the 25 may be kind of stuck in that situation there, at least for the time being, but I don't think it's that bad of an idea. If he could stay with him, he may be able to call the shots, pit a lap early, because you know if he pits, that kind of brings the one where he has to pit the following lap.
Justin Roden has made his pit stop. He's coming out of pit road now, up on the back stretch.
Yeah, Justin ended up burning through his tires early in that run, so definitely needed for him in order to not lose as many positions.
47 laps led, back in the 21st position. He is not the first one on the lead lap right now. As
he's not the first one on the lead lap?
He's not off of the lead lap, rather. That's what I meant to say. Jacob Fife in the 36 is now exiting the pit road. Remember, he was in the top 5 as well. So we are waiting to see. Caleb Eisenhower is he's still on the racetrack. Brandon Kirkman in the pits right now. So it's just a matter of time. When do the leaders take it down pit road? Remember all the time that they're losing right now in comparison.
Yeah, they're losing probably about 2 seconds at least. Actually about 2.5 seconds per lap to that 0.7.
The 25 is doing an awesome job sticking with the 1 machine here, guys. Now, even looking under him, not quite going to work that last time by. We know these guys have to come to pit lane soon, but he is still showing quite a bit of speed.
On the telemetry right now, all the way down to 145 miles an hour here as he exits turn number 2, and you can see the wiggle there. He's really tentative on the throttle at this point in the run. Doesn't even crack 180 miles an hour down the back straightaway.
Now looking under that one machine, going to be side by side down off the corner. The one's going to have the momentum down the front straightaway through the quad oval, however. But Joseph Diaz is doing a really good job sticking with him. And as Corey said, if he can pit just maybe one lap early and get those fresher tires early, he may be able to make up enough ground to get around him.
And that one lap, if he pits early, will amount to almost 3 seconds as the 07 route, and he is going to have to split the gap here and thread the needle trying to get by. He'll go to the outside of the 25, and this is to put himself on the lead lap right now. We remember all of this time he is gained on these fresh tires. Right now, Jacob Fife in the 36. He is just about to do the same. He's about to pass Adam de Blasio, who is the points leader. He's passing him, who's in third, and the two leaders right in front. This will put Fife on the lead lap when he does get there as well.
About 49 laps into this run, or 48. For these leaders, they're going to be having to come and pit road in probably about 7 laps.
Yep, 36 coming to the outside right now. Again, putting himself back on the lead lap.
So the question is, guys,
right now.
Oh yeah, here they come.
Also the 48 as well.
All 3 of them.
48.
Wow,
really tight.
I'm not sure if he made it.
Adam de Blasio.
He did make it. That was a really good pit entry to catch up to those top 2.
Man, oh man.
So now we'll see how much of a lead that 07 will have. Probably about a 15-second lead, I would think.
Yeah, we will definitely see. And remember how much that it is going to affect these drivers. Is they're going to have to change their strategy. They can't just burn up their tires trying to gain the time. It's a strategy game right now, so it really changes how you run the entire race from this point.
Justin Rowden is coming out of turn number 2 right now, and they're still on pit road, just now coming out.
And Evan, you mentioned how big of a lead that the 07 will have here. That's not going to last as long as people think, as the one almost makes contact with one of the other drivers coming up out of pit lane there. That lead, that big lead, is not going to last very long, as he's probably already burnt through quite a bit of his tire.
He's going to have a 15-second lead at least.
Yeah, as we come back on the racetrack right now, we still have James Hudson in the 53. He has yet to pit. So that even throws a little bit more of a wrench, as a couple of the drivers. The 11 will put himself back on the lead lap, but Rowden in the 07 will be scored the leader. Jacob Fife about 2.5 seconds behind him. And to go back to the drivers that were up front before, as you said, Rowden is off of turn number 4 at the moment, and these in the 25 just now entering turn number 3. About 12 seconds approximately.
And Rowden just ran a 31.231, and Patton ran about 9/10 of a second quicker, 30.3.
So now we're just pretty much going to be doing math on the rest of the race. Is who has the 53 will come to the pits, and that will allow everything to fully cycle through. It's a typical tire race. I'm running faster, you're pitting more. Who will eventually, which one is going to end up on top?
Yeah, so all of these well, were our leaders before the pit stops all happened, trying to make their way through traffic now. Heavy traffic these guys are having to get through.
But while this is going on, as the pit stops have settled out just a bit, we're going to step away for a brief side-by-side commercial break. We'll break back if anything happens, so again, stay with us here on PTRTV.
When I was 16 years old, I was working at a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. That was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 you know, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and
Welcome back to PTRTV here. Sorry about the extended side-by-side. I'm doing my best to get driver's paint scheme showing. Still having some problems, but I'm going to keep working at it behind the scenes here. But up front, we still do have the number 07 leading, but that lead, which was about 12 seconds, now down to only 2, as his alternate tire strategy is starting to catch up with him at the moment.
Not necessarily, because those top 3 are on the same strategy, but the first driver that is on a different strategy is about 5 seconds back, Joseph Theus. Just wanted to correct you there a little bit.
Oh, certainly. But there's a 7-lap tire difference in between the top 3 and 4th on back, or at least 4th, 5th, and 6th. A couple drivers pitted at the last windows, a couple of drivers pitted a little bit earlier, so that is what we're finding out here. But as we enter this stage in the race, we're going to have to try to start playing it out, guys. Who is going to be able to win this? Who's going to be able to play their strategy out in the best way? Who's going to change theirs midway? And are we going to have a caution? Well, none of these things are we have answers to, but that's why we keep watching.
The 25, 48, and 1, they came down pit road, running nose to tail, and they are still nose to tail. But now the 1 and 48 side by side down the front stretch, down into turn number 1. Looks like the 48 will clear.
And the 1 doing the best he can on the bottom still here. The 25 did end up getting around the 1 as well. Brad Patton actually does manage to clear the 48 machine that time around. Now, moving up to around mid to high lane is that 1 machine, the 48, trying to dive down low. Not going to work that time by 25, starting to pull away from those guys just a little bit.
I think Patton saved his tires a little bit more this run than he did last run, because he came out of pit road right behind the 25, fell back to behind the 48, now getting back by him and trying to catch back up to that 25.
We did it! It only took 87 laps, but we finally have driver's paint scheme showing. So, sorry.
Hooray!
Hooray, you did it, Corey.
It's been, as I said, it's been a double duty day here. We've had a new league, we've had short practice, so behind the scenes things have been a little difficult, so I've been working on that. Sorry if there's any remnants showing through on the output side, but finally we can see what these drivers are driving here tonight. But
they're driving NASCAR Cup cars.
They are, and they have custom liveries on, and we can finally see as the 36 gets into the wall there down the straightaway.
Boy. The one almost got turned to the outside wall that time by the 48. Contact between those two drivers. The 48 trying to clear for the position.
These drivers just got by that 73 of Jason Miller. That was 4 position. Miller's out there on 7-lap older tires.
Beautiful save by the one machine of Brad Patton that last time. Good driving behind the wheel of that thing.
Yeah, even though we aren't necessarily at the end of the tire window, some of these drivers are 20 laps in, some of these drivers are 30 laps in, so the handling is definitely not where it needs to be or not where these drivers want it, so they are starting to slip and slide already.
Yeah, we're about to have a battle for the second position, the 25 of Joseph Theus and the 36 of Jacob Fife. Theus on those 7-lap older tires. I really don't think it's going to be too much of a battle as the 25 takes the position.
Keep in mind, guys, laps are starting to tick off here. We are past the halfway point already. So these guys trying to fight for positions, starting to fight hard, a little bit harder than what they were at the beginning of this race. Now the 25, as Evan said, does get around for position number 2.
Then Patton and de Blasio should be soon to follow by that 36. He's on those older tires.
Yeah, and guys,
here comes the one.
And guys, we can see here again. We talk about it race after race. We'll talk about it again. Look at this Texas Motor Speedway on the racetrack. Look how much rubber has been put down, and there may even be some marbles forming. Remember, we haven't had any cautions to clear them off, so this is probably one of the most wore-in tracks I've seen in quite some time, and we still have quite a bit of racing left.
One of Patton gets by, now the 48 of de Blasio looking to get by that number 36 machine of Jacob Fife. De Blasio looking to the outside through turn number 1 and 2. 36 all the way down on that white line will give the position up to the 48.
Look at how much of a lead Justin Roundhouse now. That lead has diminished, guys.
When the 25 came out of pit road, it was probably about 14 seconds or so, down to 1 second now.
Yeah, as we pull up the primetime battle tracker, last time by for Rowden was a 32.46, but Thies in the 25 was still on the 31s, just hardly at a 31.98, so nearly a half second faster for the 25.
Yeah, and what did I say as those guys were coming on a pit road? That 15-second lead,
it's not going to last.
That 15-second lead not going to last, and it did not last at all. These guys starting to gain fast.
I was going to say, I'm glad you reminded me, because I really didn't remember what you said.
I didn't either. But we're 25 laps into this, and he still has not caught the leader.
So is that something that, at this point, he's 33 laps into his run, is that something that it may be a little bit of a loophole in the strategy where maybe those older tires on his car in comparison to the 25, maybe his tires have stalled out a little bit.
See here as the 25 will be getting by him here probably in the next corner.
Coming up to the back bumper of the 07 is the 25. Probably within through turns 1 and 2. Going to be side by side down through turns 1 and 2. Will he clear? Not quite this time. Gonna have to try again down through 3 and 4.
I really thought he'd get him through 1 and 2, but now through 3 and 4. Looks like this is really where the tires make that huge difference as the 07 comes to pit road.
Yeah, here he comes, passed up for the lead, now into pit lane.
And
34 laps on that run.
And locked him up on the entry there. Hopefully he did make the speed, but we'll see what that does. Will that throw the 25 on an alternate strategy? Will he stick to his own and run it out longer? These are the questions we have to ask.
I think he's going to stick to his own. But we will find out as the 07 may have overshot his pit stall. No, he barely got in there.
But this is 70 laps to go at this point, so think about the 25. He's about 30 laps into his run. We'll pull up the stints here so you guys can see how long these drivers have been out. 07 has to go through the scoring loop at 28, 35 laps, 34 laps. How long do you want to stretch it? Do you want to stretch it till maybe 50 to go? But that's going to be a really long run.
That's what he did last time. He put about 20 laps after the 07 did. And with how long it took him to catch him, it's probably, if they stay on their strategies, it's going to be a really close race to the finish.
Yeah, I'd say so. And man, oh man, but guys, we still have the possibility of a yellow in between there.
True.
Yeah, these drivers are definitely, I mean, they're spread out and they're in good control of their vehicles, but as the tires wear, we've seen drivers get loose on the straightaways. We've seen drivers get into the wall. It just takes one more time, as we do have another taker on pit road. Just takes one more time for that to eventually get someone sideways. That's Brad Patton in the 1.
Yeah, I raced here last week, and it got really, really loose on exit of these corners, and through the quad oval, it got really loose. So it's definitely a handful for these drivers.
These guys doing an awesome job pulling these cars around so far. It's been a pretty good race thus far, guys. No major incidents on track so far. No, you know, not too many close calls, but some really good racing.
I believe only that one caution.
Yeah, that is true. And again, our first coverage of these guys. And again, I said it before, say it again, do apologize for the kinks in the stream. It is not something that I'm proud of, but again, obviously nothing is perfect, so hope you are enjoying the broadcast. As another driver, Nick Terbush in the 4 on pit road. Hope you guys tuned in for the Racer's Mind, or tuned back into that, as we had our announcement of our new PTRTV special event, our Team Clash. Details will be on social media, and if you want to find out sooner, you can watch the Racer's Mind and see that. As the 07 of Rowden is rounding the top there, as he is trying to unlap himself.
Where'd the 1 go? Patton already pitted.
Oh, I think he fell off so much. Maybe he's just trying to get on the same strategies as 07.
Yeah, Rowden is right now entering turn 1. Patton is at the start-finish. Patton has just pitted, but remember, he pitted 3 laps after Rowden, so that's 3 laps on older tires that he lost time to Rowden, and I think that's just the gap.
I think long run that's going to end up hurting him, guys.
So, if with Rowden pitting about 3 laps ago, that's still going to be a 2-stop race for him, isn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't enough of a gap where that Brad pitted after Rowden to really change the strategy. It really was just a time loss, in my opinion.
Yeah, so these guys, as you said earlier, gentlemen, it's a game. It's a race of strategies, not necessarily racing other drivers right now. To get around the other drivers, you're going to have to beat them on the strategy. So
I think the drivers that, like the 25 and the 48, with them being on the 1-stop strategy, I think that's going to work out for them.
As Samuel Nato in the 45 on pit lane right now. He was pitting out about the 8th position, but this is 105 laps on the board, so that's 62, as I struggle with mental math, laps to go in the race. It would take another 14 laps by the 25 on the track to make it a 1-stop race, but we do expect Justin Rowden in the 11. Actually, yeah, we do expect Rowden's going to have to do a 2-stop race, as is Patton.
Or will he? I don't know.
That would be...
I would think
that would
he
be
would.
70. Well, yeah, if he does a 2-stop race, then when would he pit? Otherwise, he's going to do a 1-stop race, and well, let's see. He is 27 seconds off the lead. can he catch the leaders in 27 laps?
In 27 laps, probably.
If he can catch the
Very possible.
If he can catch the leaders by the time they need to make their stop, which is actually only going to be
13 laps.
13 laps. I'm sorry, I got my
I don't know
math
where
wrong.
you came with 27. I guess
I
that's
like
how far back he was.
I like the number 27. He's 27 seconds off the lead. The only way it'll work for him to do a one stop, or really at all, he has to catch the leaders before they make their next stop or be close to it.
Which there's no way he can catch up that much in 12 laps
Because
now.
he's catching up at a rate of about 2 seconds a lap right now.
Actually, it's down to only about 1 second per lap because he ran a 31.405 and our leader ran a 32.55.
So there's
So at 1 second
You
per
guys
lap.
are so much better at mental math than
So
I
there's
am, by the
no
way.
way at this point that 2 stops is going to win. There's no way. I think it's becoming clearer as the run progresses. But we've
What
been
do we
wrong.
know?
Yes, and especially me.
I have learned to never trust Corey's pit strategy. It never works out for me.
It never works out for me either, so don't feel bad.
I think if this goes green, it's going to be one of the guys that are on the one-stop strategy. So the 25 or the 48.
I'm comfortable in saying that, but I also don't want to play a jinx either, so. See, sometimes people say, well, green flag racing, blah, 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 we want cautions, we want stages to break it up. See, there is so much going on now. If you can encompass it all and maybe try to understand it even better than we do, there's so many different things to follow right now. As right now, we do have a half-second deficit in between 1 and 2 positions right now. But then it goes back to Brandon Kirkman, who's in 3rd. He's 18 seconds off of the lead now, but he's on the same kind of strategy as your 2 leaders.
Yeah, he put about 5 laps before our leaders did, so they'll probably be coming down pit road, I would think, in probably about 3 or 4 laps.
Just about. Game of strategy. You guys are so much better at the mental math than I am. I mean, obviously, I'm not.
Well, you're the dirt guy, and you don't have strategy on dirt. You just drive, and then the race is over.
He's got a point.
Our behind the scenes man just went, "Oh, how dare you, Joe Chris?" And I completely agree. Oh, how dare you?
Well, am I
But
wrong?
what's the strategy? Go hard. That's
You run 10 laps at the end of the heat. You run 10 laps the end of the heat. You run 75 laps
I'm
the
not.
feature.
No, don't drag me into all that stuff. We'll talk about that after the
I want to know what is the strategy.
I'm not
besides
saying
just go
it's
fast?
easy by any. I can't do it. I'm saying from a strategy standpoint.
Because there's no pit strategy. Because you don't pit for tires and you don't pit for fuel.
Doesn't necessarily have to be pit strategy.
Don't wreck. Don't burn the tires off.
I'll discuss this later. I'll explain this later with you guys. Me and Joe are gonna go off on you guys.
Is Silent Joe, who is Joe Chris behind the scenes, is he going to come on the mic now and maybe kill both me and Evan right now?
He said, "Oh, nice try."
Come on, Joe.
Silent
Get on
Joe's
air.
gonna stay silent.
As routed
Joe
has
says the strategy is that you don't want to pit.
exactly. So what does that teach you about real strategy? Oh, right now Brad Patton in the grass as he's trying to pass Brandon Kirkman in the 1. That was a really tight call on the front straightaway. Go back and check it really quick on PTR replay.
Looks like he's got a tad bit of front end damage. I don't know if he had that
Yeah, he made
before.
contact with the 5. The 5 got up really loose out of turn
Whoa,
4.
that was he was committed to the inside there. He kind of loosed himself to the inside, and the 5 did not really see it
He
going.
loosed himself to the inside.
He loosed himself to the inside. Is there better terminology for that? Is there really?
I like that. He loosed himself to the inside.
Put it on a t-shirt, Brandon. Put it on a t-shirt.
How do you spell that, Corey? L-O-O-S-E-D?
Oh,
He
there you
loosed
go.
himself?
But I do, in all seriousness, look at the 25 on the quad oval there. On that, as he just went by, we caught it on camera. He was wiggling in the quad oval.
Yeah.
That's the new package in the Cup cars.
We'll go
And
on.
if you think this is bad, go race Atlanta.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
that's
nothing compared to Atlanta.
Definitely.
As we're
You
on-
have to run after about 30 laps. You have to run like half throttle through the quad at Atlanta.
You could just hear it. You could just hear the struggle. It almost seems like he's putting more effort in to get through the quad oval than he actually is the remainder of the racetrack.
That actually is true, because you actually do have to put more effort through the quad oval to hang on to that car. Just because there's no banking there and the turns of it gets you a little bit loose.
But right now, the number 25 of Joseph Thies leading the race, 48 laps as he takes a stripe on this set of tires. So
This is when he pitted the last time, I do believe, on lap 48 of the run. So I think he should come down through this time.
yeah, that we'll follow it. It would follow the tradition and put him in for the exact same stint that he was running prior. So as he does have a slower car to his inside, so it's going to be a little bit of a tight call for him to pit this lap if he chooses to. So he will remain on the circuit as well. It does the 48.
Look at the 25 through the quad oval. He is so sideways.
Again, this is the kind of stuff we talk about a wreck or how a caution would happen. It doesn't necessarily need to be car contact. It could just be a driver on the bare edge of control, as the 25 is right now, just not being able to hang on to it again.
I would expect the 25 to come down pit road this time. We will see. No, not quite.
Couple of guys coming out of pit lane now. So now guys, I'm more impressed of how many different strategies we have so far here tonight. All the different pit sequences and everything else. I mean, you know, obviously I'm more of a dirt guy myself, but you know, I'm quite impressed, and the way that these guys are handling these race cars tonight is something that impresses me even more.
Yes, it's really difficult. I mean, there are some drivers, as Adam de Blasio is on pit lane now. He was in second, and that could be the winning call, guys. We know as a 25, he stays on the track. So this is going to give de Blasio a good 2.5 to 3 second lead at least when he does decide to, when the leader of Tice, I believe, we've been saying it wrong, Joseph Tice does come to pit road.
Yeah,
We said every way but the right way.
Yes.
I
believe it is
Tice. We said Diaz. I believe maybe we've got it right.
And here comes Tice. I believe that it is his name.
Yep. We apologize, Joseph.
New league. Gotta get the names
Yeah,
right.
always trying to get those names right.
So now Brad Patton in the 1, he is on what we would assume to be the 2-stop strategy, but I really can't imagine it would be anymore. It's just going to be the 1-stop strategy, but a lot later into the run. Because he's 23 laps in, so, I mean, at this point, what do you do if you're one of the drivers that is on the alternate strategy? Do you just pit with 30 to go? Do you just pit now and try to get on even playing? Like, what would you do?
I do not know.
Well, we don't ask the dirt guy because he has absolutely no idea.
I have no idea.
His strategy is don't wreck. And usually I know
Well,
he doesn't stick to that strategy.
Well, the dirt strategy
don't wreck and don't pit.
The dirt strategy is don't pit, and I think that'll run out of fuel, so I think that is invalid right now.
Little bit.
I'm trying to make silent Joe come on the mic in unsilent rage, but I don't think it's going to work quite
he
yet.
said it's not happening.
As we do have a gaggle of cars, about 7th position right now. Tom Wetmore in the 42. He is going through a gaggle of cars. He's right behind Adam de Blasio, but on a different strategy, as de Blasio is already getting himself back through the field. Joseph Tice, I believe we settled on for.
Joseph Tice.
He is about, let's just do some quick math here, about 4 seconds behind de Blasio now because of that later pit stop.
And he's running about 2 seconds quicker, it looks like, than Brad Patton.
Yeah, Patton right now is, I think we'll fit them all on the graphic here, the last laps. A 32.4 for your leader, but then for de Blasio, a 30.5 was it? So, yeah, 2 seconds that Patton's slower right now, and he's only about
22 seconds behind, or ahead of Tice, and then 17 ahead of de Blasio.
So at this point, we're pushing 40 laps to go in the race, and I mean, we could get a caution, obviously, but I don't know what to do for Fear the One. I think you just have to pit now and just kind of salvage whatever you can get out of those fresher tires. Because he's going to be, at this point, if he's only ahead by about 15 seconds, he's going to be well over a lap down at the end, by the time he pits. And then
I think right now, de Blasio is in the best position.
Yeah, because
I'd have to agree.
Especially where he had that pit stop later, he was able to take the lead over Tice, and at this point, as long as he can maintain that 4.5 second gap, he's good. But I think finally that the strategies have settled out where there shouldn't be pit stops for a little while. We can give you a little bit of a through the field here as we're on our 75% race break. I'm going to take that back. Brad Patton's down pit road. So our 75% of the way race break is already over with, as Justin Routed is right behind him as well. So there may be another wave of stops.
That just amazes me. Is, you know, the first cycle of stops finishes, then the next wave of cars come through, and by the time everything cycles through, the guys are pitting again.
Well, Jacob Fife in the 36 currently on the track. Still, he is scored the leader now on older tires. Jason Miller is moved to P2. Jason Miller in the 73, about 4 seconds off the lead, as he had a little bit of a moment there through the quad oval.
Yep, so Fife kind of just cruising around the track now trying to get some laps ahead.
Yeah, remember, as we talked a little earlier, de Blasio is your points leader with 2 wins already in the season. Brad Patton has also won 2 races. We've run 6 already. The other winners include William Dunn, and trying to sift through Matt Busa, who is not in the race today. Those are the other winners this season, so we'll see here if de Blasio could pad that total. He seems to be in the best position, but still, anything can happen.
Yeah, if de Blasio keeps it up, this will be his 5th consecutive top 3 finish.
Joe Slama, I do not see him in this race, so he will, I'm assuming, have to use a provisional or a drop week, depending how it is covered. But Joshua Campbell, he is, I believe he's here as well. Trying to see Campbell all the way back in the 25th position. He's your 3rd place driver in points now, so definitely going to be a hit for him, Dynamic Autosport and his team.
And now Fife on pit road.
Now for Fife in the 36, he was racing with those drivers such as Roden, who was on that later strategy. What did those 3 laps extra do for him now?
And now, I don't know if you already said this, Corbett Patton made his pit stop. I was typing in chat, not paying attention.
Yeah, he pitted a while ago. Well, a couple laps ago.
3 laps ago.
But now Fife, he pitted, now that he's pitted later, has that only hurt him? Because now he's lost the position to Patton. Remember how bad those older tires fall off.
We'll find out. Justin Rowden just got in the wall right in front of our leader, de Blasio.
Rowden trying to lap, well, trying to get back onto the lead lap again. He is there right now as a 3-wide situation off of corner number 2. De Blasio,
little bit of a sketchy situation there, guys.
De Blasio has gotten back to the lead with 34 to go.
There is no way Rowden will be able to win this race unless caution comes out. He's got to make up 30 seconds or so.
But if a caution comes out, he's in 9th. He's going to have to pit. So even if a caution comes out, he's still going to have to drive past plenty of vehicles. But the benefit for Rowden now is we have to look at the telemetry on the intervals right now. We have 4th place, 22 seconds back. Pat, 24 seconds back. Everybody is within about 10 seconds of him now. So he could realistically still get a top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
But anything further than that is going to take some, I think, extracurricular circumstances.
And now Jacob 5 getting back in the lead lap.
So now, let's try that maybe 80% race break right now. Let you know where everyone stands. We've run 135 laps. Only 1 trip behind the pace car today for 3 laps. Your leader, Adam de Blasio, has been up front for only 4 laps, but is up front when it matters at the end of the race thus far. Joseph Tice in 2nd. Tom Wetmore in 3rd. Do expect another pit stop from him. Nick Ward in 4th. Brad Patton in 5th. Eric de Blasio in 6th. William Dunn in 7th. Brandon Kirkman in 8th. Justin Rowden working his way up is in 9th, and then Jacob Fife in 10th.
Got Alan Pajari in 11th. First car 1 lap down. Jason Miller in 12th. Todd Thomas in 13th. James Hudson in 14th. Jay Heischman in 15th. Don Stevenson in 16th. Caleb Eisenhower in 17th. Or actually, it looks like 18th. Nick Terrybush. Christopher Shedsler in 19th. Cody Smith in 20th. My telemetry was a little bit off.
Yep. We have Guillermo Alvarez in 21st, Joshua Campbell 22nd, Randy Fayash in 23rd, Neil Froelich in 24th, Samuel Nato in 25th, Emilio Thompson running in 26th, Kent Wetherill 27th, Alan Roll in 8th, Michael Dool in 9th, Lance Gentlis in 30th, and the only other person, actually that is the last car kind of on the track. Everybody else, Bruce Ackerman, Jimbo Hickson, Brandon Six, Patrick Davis, Trevor Opolo, and Joseph Yakes are behind the wall. Back up front, Joseph Tice and de Blasio separated by a hair under 2 seconds right now.
Oh, sketchy situation for the 48 machine. 3 wide through the quad oval. He backs out of it.
I thought that was going to be a wreck.
I did too. Very
so
tricky
close.
situation.
Michael Dool in the 88, that damaged car to the outside. He also has that spam machine, couldn't quite see the number, but running 94, running behind him, the leader, that is Alan Rowell. And this has allowed Tice to gain about 0.4 of a second in just 1 lap.
Yeah, Tice now 1.6 seconds back. For 1.2 now.
You just see this gaggle of cars here as we exit corner number 2. Most of them on the off of the lead lap, but are causing some conflict for the drivers up front. You can see here from the 25 how many cars are in between him and the leader.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars separating first and second place, but only about a second and a half.
But man, oh man, the 48 de Blasio has been in some pretty sketchy situations so far tonight. How many of those are going to come up and scare the living daylights out of him before, before he possibly has to pit again?
I think he'd be more...
He's not going to pit again, Brandon.
Well, what do I know? I'm a dirt guy.
I would be more afraid for the 48 of him losing control, trying to avoid
25
something.
25 going through the grass. Joseph Tice looks like he got loose out of 4.
Try to catch that on a replay if we can, but
manages to keep it going.
Just went through the grass, lost about a second.
Yeah, he just got loose and some agricultural work there, and that will cost him, as you said, Evan, about a second. But going back to what I was saying about de Blasio, I'd be more worried about him making a mistake and losing it, trying to avoid or get around someone. He's around. He's wrecked.
Hard contact. 51.
Caution's out.
The 48 saved it. De Blasio. Amazing save. A little bit of damage to the right side of that race car, but hard contact. The 51 of Eisenhower.
The 51, he just got loose running that higher line through the quad oval.
Man, oh man.
Brandon, I guess you were right. The 48 is going to pit again.
Yeah.
He just got loose, as you said, in the center of the quad oval right at the start finish.
It looked like he's, yeah.
Whenever you
went
run
up and scraped the wall.
Whenever you run that high in the quad oval, it's going to get loose.
I cannot believe the 48 of de Blasio saved that race car. Eisenhower pounded that outside Stanford barrier, then collected the number 70 machine.
So Brad Patton is up to 4th now.
I imagine everybody's going to come back to pit lane.
For sure. Yeah. I don't think de Blasio...
I called it without even knowing it.
Yeah, you said he's going to have to pit again. Yeah, you're right.
I took penicillin. It was kind of a beneficial mistake. But here we come off of corner number 3 and 4, and this will be the money stop. It'll put us in a less than 20 lap to go, or just about 20 lap to go shootout here at Texas. How things have changed here at the very end of the race. But look at the lead that the 48's going to have just entering the pits. If he has damage, he could probably get maybe 5 seconds of it repaired.
I don't always think he has too much damage in the first place. That right front fender, it's tore up just a little bit, but it is not bad. Yeah,
not too much contact overall between those two drivers. Eisenhower did a fairly good job keeping it off of him. Again, an amazing save from that 48 machine to keep it from hitting anything else. And still holding the lead, may I point out.
48 did not get any of that damage fixed. Or he did not stay longer to get any of it fixed. Probably got a second or two while they were doing the pit stop.
So we're waiting for the 07 route, and remember he was he's going to be actually staying in a stall, I think, to repair whatever damage he does have. So this will shake out to de Blasio being the leader. Joseph Tice in second. Tom Whitmore running in third, Brad Patton in fourth, and Jacob Fife will be your top 5 here for this final dash.
Who are you picking?
I am going to go with the driver that is in the vehicle of which the number is 48.
Brandon, who you want?
Was the 25 chosen yet?
No.
I would choose the 25.
Do you?
Literally. Corey literally just picked the 48.
And I stalled so long on it, too.
Well, that's why
You are the reason they invented fidget spinners.
Yes, exactly.
Now, is that a roast or what?
Anyways.
So who are you taking, Brandon? 25?
Was the 25 chosen yet? No, I'm kidding. Yes, it's the 25.
Well,
someone needs to go. Someone needs to go into the racer's mind, get a really good screen cap of Brandon, take that out and make a meme, and I am the reason there are fidget spinners. That needs to.
I am on a mission right now. Go pull up the racer's mind.
If that happens, there will be a PTRTV bumper sticker sent to somebody watching. I am dead serious. If I am dead serious. Anyways.
Oh boy.
We will wait and see if the pace car will turn the lights off and let us go back racing here. You can see how many wave around drivers there are, and they will indeed be waved around right now, and looks like we will be coalescing behind the pace car, and We will get this final dash underway shortly.
It'll be a 20-lap dash to the end of this thing, guys. Any predictions?
Didn't we already bake them?
Well, more or less.
Less or more? I think that now that we are back together in one group, I think that we are not done with the yellows, but I hope that I am
Cautions
wrong.
bring cautions. But these guys slow rolling down through turns 3 and 4, getting ready for the drop of the green flag once again. For the 3rd time tonight. Pace car is in, the 48 is on the throttle, green flag is back in the air. Look at the tire spin.
42 Tom Wetmore really loose on the front stretch from that wheel spin.
Yeah, everyone did control their cars, but it was a very sketchy situation indeed as we come through turn number 2. De Blasio has about a 2-car length lead, but you can see the battling going on behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys fanning out down the back straightaway now. Now heading down into turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a battle back here for the 5th position. Trying to gain as Jacob Fife in the 36 machine. He gains. Now the 11 trying to get around the 97.
Now the 11 trying Eric De Blasio, I'm assuming the sibling of Adam in the 11 trying to get by Nick Ward. That is a battle for the 6th position. But here comes Jacob Fife trying to make a battle happen with Brad Patton and try to gain 4th.
Potential battle for the lead starting to heat up here, guys. The 25 machine is not letting the 48 get far.
2 drivers that have been out front the majority of the race, not necessarily for the lead, but have been battling for 2nd on back. But this is their chance to shine as De Blasio does pull away for a little bit on corner entry, but it looks like the 25 is a lot better off corner exit.
Almost a little bit of contact that last time off of turn number 2. Now heading down into turns 3 and 4. Still riding the back bumper of the 48 is that 25, not letting him go, trying to keep him in his sights.
Yeah, that 25 is so much better on exits, like you said, Corey. He gives up a little bit of time entering, but gains it all back and then some on exit.
See the line difference here. The 25 is running about that lane higher, and that's allowing him to get the better run off. As I mentioned, here he comes almost to the back bumper, but the 48 did a pretty good job last time.
Down into turn number 3. Look at the run that the 25 had down into turn 3. Now coming off of turn number 4, the 25 to 48. Look at the run. The 25 gets right up to the back bumper.
Now down into turn number 1, he will not take a look quite yet. Backing off just a little bit early to get that run down the back straightaway. Now out of turn number 2. We'll see if he gets the run. Yes, he does.
About a car length off.
Adam De Blasio in the 48, Joseph Tice in the 25. The battle for the lead within the final 20 laps, almost down to 10 laps to go here. Just not too long. It'll be the final stint.
Right behind this, the 36 and the 42 duking it out for the 3rd position. Fife has a run to the inside of Wetmore. We'll see if this battle can conclude. Maybe the 5 can battle them up. He looks like he's going to clear for the 3rd spot.
Got 36 of 5 cleared, but the 42 fighting back on the outside, now down into turn number 3.
36 was clear, but he left the door open there off corner number 2, allowed the 42 to keep his run. He's clear again. He needs to shut the door and go.
And there he goes up in front of the 42 machine. Down to 42, has a big run, almost a little bit of contact with a back bumper to 36 that last time by. Now slides up the racetrack.
Through the bumps.
Contact between those two drivers in turns 1 and 2.
A little bit of contact there off of turn number 2.
Contact.
But you saw the 42 struggle through the bumps there. It washed him up the track into the 36 of Fife, who was able to hold on to the machine. But the 36 still trying to hang on there and clear on the outside. Into the wall.
Into the wall, in the wall, into the wall.
Into the wall.
Not in the window. He was into the wall there, but here we come. Still the same thing happening through 3 and 4. Go through the bumps, washing up the track. But caution.
Oh, boy.
24, Chris Scheltzer in the number 24 BK machine sideways through the grass in the front straightaway. So we'll go back on PTR replay.
Awesome job not hitting anything. It looks like he got a piece of the apron. Or no, not even. He just lost it through the center of the corner.
He got sideways and he just never lifted to keep it out of the outside wall.
Hard on the
Good job
binders.
for him not hitting
Yeah,
anything.
he did.
But guys, we predicted it. Cautions bring cautions. We'll get one more shot at a restart.
It's funny how a long green flag race, we ran what was the better part of 120 laps green flag and 2 cautions within 10 laps. And I mean, we've been out there for 11 laps. We saw this on our Tuesday night race last week. What do you do? Does anybody try to pull some strategy here on pit road?
Maybe.
Maybe.
A definite maybe.
Yeah. Let's see. Looks like here comes everybody except for the one.
No.
The one is one of the only ones that stayed out.
I'm gonna say this now. This is not gonna end well.
No, it's not. I agree.
And look at the
Not
front end
because of
damage.
lack of skill or anything. It's just
The tire wear
12
at
level
Texas.
tires. This is not gonna end well.
Yeah, no, the tire wear at Texas is so severe, and you know we saw how much wheel spin there was on fresh tires, guys. These guys are gonna have to be really, really cautious not to get stacked up, and I've got a bad feeling about this.
I do see, based on the timers here, that there were drivers, at least a couple. Tom Wetmore, I believe, took 2 tires, if my numerics are working properly here, so looks like that is indeed confirmed. The 1 is on older tires, the 42 is on 2 tires, and then 3rd on back on 4 fresh Goodyears. So we're going to step away here for a brief moment, and we will be back with you for what will be a very interesting finale here, so you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Went to the detail of getting that car right. I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number.
Hello and welcome back, race fans, back to Texas Motor Speedway with the Doolok on Twitch 250 here with the Integrity Racing League, a brand new league that we picked up on Monday night. It's been pretty exciting so far, and boy, oh boy, it should be a good finish, but I'm a little bit nervous for this restart, guys.
Nervous, anxious, all the above. It's going to be interesting to say the least. Will this last 8 laps finish under green? Will we end under yellow? Will we have a green-white checker? Stay tuned. We're about to find out. Here we come through 3 and 4 for what could be the final time.
Pace car ready to make its way down into pit lane once again. Could be the final time. Pace car is in, waiting for these guys to hit the throttle. Here they are on the gas. Green flag is back in the air.
Patton did a
Look at
really
that wheel
nice
spin.
job on that restart, though.
Beautiful job, guys.
Entering turn 1 and 2, the 48 and the 42, but look at the slow speed by the 1 that checks
boy.
everybody up. The 42 to the outside, Tom
3
Wetmore.
wide, looking to go 3 wide down the backstretch.
Tom Wetmore hasn't been up front all race, but takes us advantage. Here comes
contact.
DeBlasio.
The
48
goes around, beats in, now the 1 goes around in the middle of the pack. Big impact, caution flag is in the air.
They should restart this.
They will restart this, guys, but man, oh man, big contact. Let's go back on the PTRTV replay.
Yeah, we have it up here on the screen. You could see off turn number 2, the check up there. That allowed the 42 to get the lead. 48 was stuck behind the 1. And then the 48 took a little bit of a dive 3 wide. They made contact, was able to save it. But the 1,
saved it.
while he was saving it, he got up into the 07 of Rowden, and that caused the wreck.
How did no one hit Patton? Except for like one. The only guy that hit him was the 11 or the 73.
I am very, very impressed by the skill level in this league already, guys.
About 20 guys should have killed that 1 car.
I don't know how. Look at the avoidance. The 1 car just clipped him, but everybody else somehow made it through. Awesome,
the
awesome
43,
job.
as I'm kind of watching the replay on our live stream right now, William Dunn in the 43 did a masterful job changing lanes there in the middle of the turn to get through that. So, very quick maneuvering, guys, but this is going to be a 3, maybe 4 lap dash. Tom Wetmore is your leader, but remember, he is on 2 tires right now. So, and those left sides have about 10 laps, no, how old? Yeah, about 10 more laps, I believe, on those left sides, so this will be interesting. Then Adam de Blasio, the man who has been in the best position, he is in 3rd. He'll be starting right behind Wetmore, which I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or not.
Yeah, this is gonna be another tricky restart, I feel.
So there's still at least 2 more laps. Well, we'll probably get the 1 to go next time by. So at this point in the race, we are 163 laps in. We currently still have 22 drivers on the lead lap, the last one being Brad Patton, who was obviously the, I don't want to say the cause, but involved in that last wreck. Although I guess he was indirectly the cause, depending how you want to play it. So guys, take your pick. Take your pick. Again. Well, let's see. Do we want to alter them at all?
Well, seeing as mine was involved in the wreck, yes, I will. I'm going to go with the 42.
I'm good.
I'm good as well. I mean, I normally enjoy going for a 42 car, but...
Well, how's that been working for you the last few weeks?
I don't know if my wife would like me going for a Tinder car right now, so... we're going to avoid that topic and go and stay with our original pick, the 48.
But Corey has been rooting for the 42 been for you the last few weeks.
So we're gonna take 1 to go this time by. And let's see here. We'll ask the question again. Are we gonna finish green? Are we gonna make it around 4.5 miles and finish? No?
No. I'm just gonna go ahead and say no. If you can't tell, I don't think we will.
I think it all depends here. We know 4 tires is obviously better, but The 42 did a decent job on those 2 tires. Obviously was able to take the lead as that event occurred with the one off turn number 2. So
he should be freed up a little bit, and I know through the center these things are pretty tight, so that actually could help him out a little bit on those 2 tires.
It's a short enough stint that maybe it can, but this will be the final restart of the race, we could say definitively. So Wetmore to the inside, Tice to the outside, de Blasio and Fife make up road number 2. This is going to be the final restart. Integrity lead, Doolok on Twitch 250. Pace car is in. We wait for the 42 to get on the loud pedal for the final time, and there it is. We're racing again, racing at Texas.
42 has cleared for the lead.
Going down into turn number 1, it's going to be side by side for the second position. These guys all hungry for a victory here at Texas. Just a handful of laps to go.
The 42 got a good enough start where he's in a good position. Only has to last 2 more laps. The battle is for second. De Blasio and Tice.
Back in through 3 and 4. They saved it.
How did they save that car?
They are that daggum good here at Integrity Racing.
Man, oh man.
But up front, de Blasio has gotten second place. It's going to be a good old-fashioned Texas shootout for the win.
Down at a turn number 2, a little bit sideways goes the 48. Look it up above the 42.
Contact entering 3.
He squeezes him up the track. Can he hold on the inside? The 48 has the preferred groove up top. They're going to be side by side. Taking the white flag in the wall.
Boy. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. 4 cars, 5 cars fighting for a victory.
I think the 48 is going to get this. 42 down on the apron. Going to slide at the track through 1 and 2, almost 3 wide with the 36 and 25.
Oh boy, I think
Justin Rowden's up there.
Oh, big
24
right down
around.
the backstretch. We stay green.
Battle's going to be for second right now as de Blasio.
Contact for second, but as we come out of turn number 4, the 48's going to get the victory. Bumping and banging for second. It's going to be the 36.
Your top 3 is going to be Adam de Blasio with the win. Jacob Pfeiffer second, and Tom Wetmore on those 2 tires will manage a 3rd place finish. That was amazing racing. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it in the booth. We're going to step away. Hopefully we will be able to give you some post-race interviews, so stay with us after this commercial break for the post-race show.
I called it.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, you know, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, I mean, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only going to get better, really.
And we're back here on PTRTV. The Doolok on Twitch 250 just concluded in very exciting fashion as Adam de Blasio in the 48 managed to get by Tom Wetmore there, who was on those two tires, and take home the win. And Brandon Krutz has caught up with the driver of the number 48 machine.
Yeah, down here in victory lane, he's out of the race car. Adam de Blasio. And Adam, man, what a race for you tonight. How you feeling?
Pretty cool, awesome right now. Man, that move to the high side of Wetmore took my breath away.
Yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about your race. Kind of run through how everything went for you here tonight.
Well, qualified P3, overdrove the entrance to 3. Could have had a little faster time. I don't think I could have gotten the pole. Probably could have gotten second, guy in the 29.6s, but that's a moot point. Green flag fell, and I noticed it was Rowden versus Patton versus me versus Tice. And first caution came out, and I couldn't see my pit box, and I missed it, and I fell back to, I don't know, 12th-ish. And then I drove back up to the field to 3rd place. Saw Patton and Tyson in my windshield, and by that time my tires were shot. They wore really quickly, and it was a handful. And that long green flag run was a blast. Patton must have pitted and wanted to do the 2:33 lap strategies at the end, where Tyson and I were splitting it up in 50 lap runs. And I short pitted Tice by 2 laps, or he wanted to pit 2 laps after me to have fresher tires at the end should it had stayed green. And Patton pitted, and I don't know if he would have caught us, but I think it would have been interesting to see if I could have held off Tice with the 2 lap fresher tires, and then Patton with really fresh tires. But caution came out when car outside of me got loose and I almost wrecked it. That was scary, and then came on pit road, and Tyson and I had a great battle with about 20 to go to 10 to go, where we were hitting our marks, and it's tough holding off a teammate like that who's so good. And then Patton stayed out. I apologize to Patton if I did get into him, or I don't know if he came down or I got into him, but I definitely sent it in, kind of like how Hamlin did to Amarola Sunday. I have to review that, but my apologies to Patton on that. But Wetmore was squeezing me into the wall, entrance of 3. When I got to the outside of him, hoping I would mess up the corner, and I thought I would mess up the corner, but I hit the gas pedal and it stuck off from 4, and it was clear sailing from there.
Yeah, man, you know, some scary moments here for you tonight, but an awesome run and an awesome victory here. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank you for shout out to?
Oh yeah. First off, I always thank Jacob Fife for putting on a great league. I joined the league back in 2015, and he puts on a great league and has really awesome drivers in it. As you guys saw tonight, I think we had 3 cautions. I don't know, but it looked like a 1 caution race for a long time. So that shows the talent level of this group. Secondly, I want to thank you guys for picking us up, the Integrity Racing League. I'm going to definitely watch the broadcast and see how things went and see how other people's races went and just check that out. Third, I want to thank my teammates in this race, Joseph Tice, my brother Eric de Blasio, Trevor Rapolo, Bruce Ackerman, and someone who doesn't run this league is Carl Shedd. They're all awesome teammates, fun to hang around, fun to bounce off ideas to one another, and we're all pretty fast. Also, my Road to Pro sponsor, Silent Empire, they're on my truck this year, so gotta give a shout out to them. And I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, but yeah.
All right, awesome job, Adam, tonight. Coming home with the victory here at the Texas Motor Speedway. And congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And I believe Evan Black has caught up with your second place finisher, Jacob Fife.
Can you hear me?
So, Jacob, you come home in second here tonight at Texas after this really long race, a lot of green flag runs. What are your thoughts after this race?
Yeah, it was a great race tonight. I really really had to battle there at the end. Luckily, I was able to come away in second. I know Joseph and Justin were hot on my tail trying to get that spot. And I got together a little bit, and then I think something with Patton happened as well. But loved the green flag run there through the middle part of the race. I had a great battle with Jason Miller. We were battling in our bracket challenge we've been doing, so it was fun to race with him. But just really comfortable with the car. Was able to kind of get my rhythm, and luckily one spot short. Wanted to get up there to Adam, but he did a great job tonight with taking the win. So congratulations to him.
Coming into this race, did you have a pit strategy set up, or did it just kind of happen?
It just kind of happened, honestly. I kind of got a feel from some of the other guys. A few guys had pitted earlier, and I thought the runs could extend out longer. But it was hard to gauge, really. The guys who pitted later, we were discussing in our Discord channel. I caught them so much quicker than I anticipated, or they anticipated. So really, I kind of almost lucked into my strategy, really. But I was able to kind of, manage my tires enough, and I was able to find a couple things during the second green flag run to kind of help save the tires and keep a little speed. So that definitely helped during that second run, green flag run we had.
On that final restart, you restarted in fourth. Did you think you could have a shot at a victory?
Yes and no. I mean, I thought I had a better chance on a longer run, or a middle run, I'll say, maybe not a full long run. So the guys who are at the front, like your Patton, Adam, as of recent, Rowden, they're all super fast. I mean, if you watch them during Q, I think Rowden had the field by like a half a tenth or something like that. So a short run like that isn't my strong suit necessarily, but I thought I could make some moves just to kind of put myself in position. But yeah, so it's, you know, definitely a solid run, and I'll certainly take it for a second position.
All right. Well, is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to thank, obviously, you guys for broadcasting tonight. Definitely looking forward to looking at that a little bit later. And then I want to thank our members and our admins who race with us and help me do my job of running the league. Definitely would be much harder without them. So I want to thank all those guys, everybody, for coming out tonight and making our Integrity Cup Series successful.
All right. Well, congrats on your second place finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
All right, so that is your top two. We don't have Tom Wetmore to talk to, unfortunately, so we will wrap up tonight's coverage with the final results here from the Texas Motor Speedway. With the victory tonight was, as we just spoke to, the number 48, Adam de Blasio, with his win leading 27 laps tonight. Jacob Fife in second, Tom Wetmore in third, Joseph Tice in fourth, Eric de Blasio fifth, Brandon Kirkman in sixth, Justin Rowden seventh, William Dunn eighth, Samuel Anido in ninth, and Nick Tarabush in 10th.
And then Joshua Campbell finishing in 11th, Don Stevenson in 12th, Nick Ward in 13th, Nick Ward in 13th, James Hudson in 14th, Brad Patton in 15th. Then rounding out the rest of the top 20 is Jay Heischman, Randy Fayash, Todd Thomas, Neil Frevlich, and Jason Miller running out the top 20.
The rest of the results flashing through on your screen, and thanks for everybody for supporting us, liking, subscribing. It always does help us out quite a bit, and up to, I believe, 433 subscribers as of tonight, so thank you, everybody. But none of this would be possible without our channel sponsors, starting out with Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formally established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Movement Fabrications is the ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, zero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and cost low for league owners. We need all the help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you will get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV. Also, be sure to check out trackcams22.com for all these awesome camera angles provided here tonight. Again, that's trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams.
Yep, thanks to all our sponsors indeed. But that is another broadcast here on PTR TV. The Doolok on Twitch 250 here by the Integrity Racing League. Proud to bring you the first night of coverage of many to come here in 2018 on Monday night, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully you did stay tuned for the Racer's Mind episode 3 prior. That'll be the double duty situation we'll be doing every Monday night. We had a big announcement for our new special event on that, so you want to watch that as well. Beforehand, podcast that as well. It'll be on iTunes and Android. But stay tuned tomorrow night. American Sim Racing Series on Tuesday nights. Rivalry Racing on Thursdays. Hardline Racing on Fridays. So PTR TV is up to full strength every single week. Tons of content. Don't want to miss it. Like and subscribe. Signing out of the booth is the trio here tonight. Corey Silva, Brandon Krutz, and Evan Black. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night.
We'll catch you next time.